Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to recreate the Cubs logo in Adobe Illustrator. So I have Adobe Illustrator opened. I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to make it 36 inches by 36 inches. Notice my units over there are inches. And I'm going to click OK. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place the Cubs logo, which is right there. I've already downloaded it. Now I want to scale this up. I want to make sure that I do a uniform scale. So I hold down the shift key when I scale this up. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Just kind of want this even on all sides, and I want to make sure the Cubs logo actually does not come off of it. Looking good. I can maybe bring that up a touch. Alright, this looks pretty good to me. Alright, so this layer is the layer that I'm going to kind of trace around, as you can see when I zoom into it. It's really pixelated and stuff. When we trace it in Illustrator, all that will be removed. So I'm going to lock this layer. I'm going to go ahead and call it Trace. This will be the layer that I trace. Alright, first layer that I'm going to create will be my background. Okay, I'm going to make sure that my fill color and stroke color are both nothing. Click and hold down on the ellipse tool. Go to the rectangle tool. I'm just going to create a rectangle that takes up this whole sheet right there. And I'm going to use the eyedropper tool, grab some blue, and fill it in with blue. So far, this is what I have. I have my nice background. That's perfect. I'm going to drag the background layer underneath the trace layer. I'll create a new layer. Drag it all the way up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create this circle, this outer white circle. So I'll call it out white circle. Okay. Now I'm going to make my fill color and stroke color over here be nothing. I'm going to click and hold on the rectangle tool, and I'm going to find the ellipse tool. What you want to do is you kind of want to find the top of the circle right there in the corner of the circle and kind of make dotted lines in your mind as to where those are going to be. I think it'll probably be over here. You want to hold down the shift key when you're creating this ellipse, and that'll create a perfect circle. If you don't, your ellipse is going to look all messed up. So we kind of create this perfect. Now this isn't lining up exactly right. That's okay. Now I'm going to hit the up arrow on my keyboard, and I'm trying to align this area over here. So up arrow, right arrow, right, up, right, up, down, and I'm just slightly moving this around. Now I'm going to click on the selection tool, hold down the shift key, just try to scale that in. That looks pretty good to me, and I want to fill this all in with white, so I click on the eyedropper tool, fill it in with white. I'm going to drag this underneath trace and lock it. So far, this is what I've created. So far, so good. I'm going to create a new layer, drag this new layer all the way up on top, and this will be my blue circle. So the blue circle, I want to make sure to start out with at least my fill and stroke color or nothing. I'm going to recreate this blue circle right there. So I'll find the top of the blue circle and the edge of the blue circle. Kind of like find those points kind of over here. Hold down the shift key when I'm creating these. And now I'm just going to use the mouse to kind of move these up, right, up, over. That looks perfect. Click on the selection tool, hold down the shift key. Looks really nice. Use the eyedropper tool, fill it in with blue. Let's drag this underneath and lock that layer. So far, this is what I have. So far, so good. Next circle that I'm going to create is this middle white circle. So I'll create a new layer, drag this new layer all the way to the top. I'll rename it middle white. Okay. Click on the ellipse tool, kind of find the top of the white and the edge, kind of come over here, hold down the shift key. Now one thing that I forgot to do is I forgot to change the fill color to nothing. So I'll change that fill color to nothing right now. Now I'm going to click on the selection tool, and I'm going to use the arrow keys to kind of bring this down a little bit and over, up, over. That looks good. Hold down the shift key, kind of scale this so it's good. Looking nice. There we go. That looks really good right there. Okay, let's fill this in with white. So I'll click on the eyedropper tool, fill it in with white. Actually, I want to scale this thing up just a tiny touch. There we go. And let's go ahead and drop this underneath my trace layer and lock it. And so far, I have this. So far, so good. We're looking really cool. All right, let's create a new layer here. Drag this new layer up to the top. This is going to be my red circle. So I'm going to make all these nothing. Click on the ellipse tool. Find the red circle at the top and over there. Just kind of grab these. Hold down the shift key. Trying to make a circle about the same size. It looks like I need to bring this over. So hold down the left arrow key, the down arrow key, left, 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 down, up. And click on the selection tool. Scale this. I'm holding down the shift key to scale this. And let's go ahead and click on the eyedropper and fill it in. Alright, that's looking good. Let's select this layer. Let's call it red circle. I like to name all of my layers. Drag this, put it below your trace layer. Let's uncheck the eye, see what we've got. This is what we have so far. I know you're like, what about this over there? Don't worry about that. I'll get to it right after this next layer. So this is going to be my inner white circle. So I'm going to go ahead and rename it. Make the fill and stroke color nothing. Click on the ellipse tool. Have my white right there. So I kind of have the top of the white circle. Click and hold the shift key right there. Now I use the arrow keys. Right arrow key down. Let's kind of just try. Let's click on this. Might need to scale this in just a touch, and then let's fill this in with white. Alright, that looks good. Select that layer, drag it underneath the trace layer. So far, this is what I have. Looking pretty good, just kind of like a bullseye. Alright, next I want to cut out this part of the C. So I'm just going to create a new layer, drag this all the way to the top, and I'm going to call it Cut Out C. Okay? Make my fill and stroke color nothing. I'm going to click on the pen tool. I'm going to zoom in. And then I'm going to click kind of right there. Right there. Then I just kind of come around. Going to click there and there. So notice I have a line right there and a line along there. And then I just kind of want to be, I want to be in this white outside area right over there. So let me fill this in with blue color, and you'll be like, oh, that's really ugly. But what I did was, excuse me, I cut that and that part of the C out. Because actually what we want to do is we want to fill this in with white. I'll drag this underneath, lock it, and so let's see what we have now. I notice I have one spot over here that isn't great. I need to kind of fix this. Also that right there. So let me show you how to fix that. I'm going to unlock this. Let's kind of click on this. And what happened was these points right there did not come far enough out. So you just want to take this point, and I'm going to drag that one there. And I take this point right there, and I drag that one kind of right there. Fixed up, right? So now if we take a look at what I have, I got my C. So now let's go ahead and lock that layer. And now I want to get that UBS. So I'm going to create a new layer, drag this new layer up to the top. I'm going to call this layer letters. And in this I'm going to make the UBS and the TM. So I'll do nothing, and I'm just going to use the pen tool for this. So let me kind of zoom in. I'll do the U to begin with. So I'll kind of click. I'll come all the way down to there. I think that I can probably get this U like that. Click one more time there. Click up there, over there, down, kind of come around. There we go. Click one more time, hold down the shift key there, kind of come around. That looks pretty good like that. Click one more time, hold down the shift key, perfect. Let's fill this in with red. So now I have my red U. It's not a perfect, it'll do for now. Let's click on the pen tool. Let's make the B now. So I'll click, hold down the shift key, click again. Still holding down the shift key, I'll come to about there. Then click and hold, and I want this to be right about there. That looks good. Click one more time on there. I'll have this hold down the shift key, come to about there. I want this to come in. So I'll have this nice and rounded. Then come up right there, click, hold down the shift key, kind of come to about there. I want to round this out now. I know it's not a perfect B, but that's okay. Click, hold down the shift key there. Now if I fill this just in, notice I like kind of lose some. So I want to also trace out the inside of this B right here. So I'll trace the inside of that, fill that in with white. And I'll kind of trace the inside of this B over here too. Whoops. Fill this in with white, which it is, and then I can select this B that's back there. Fill that in with red, and I have my B. Now, when I'm looking at this, these letters right there, not great, right? Same thing with when I have the U over here filled in with red. It's not the best you have ever made. That's okay. This is one of the first Illustrator projects we're making. Along the way, I'll be telling you some tips and tricks that'll hopefully help you make these letters a little bit better. Let's work on the S here. Gonna come up. Maybe come up to there. Click and hold. There we go. Come over there. Click and hold. That looks pretty good. Click, click, come over here, click and hold. Looks good. Click, click, right there, click and hold. Click, click, right about there. Let's try to make this. That looks pretty good. Click up there, over here. Let's try to make this. Click, click. Right there. That looks good. Click, click. Right about there. Click and hold. Looks good. Keep coming around. Whoops. Now again, this is by far not the best S that I've ever made. This whole project is just trying to teach you some basic Illustrator techniques. As we go along, when we get a little bit more advanced with our Illustrator stuff, we'll get a little bit better with these. Alright, let's actually fill that one in with red. So let's make sure all these are filled in with red. Fill that one in with red. At the B, that one's filled in good. Alright, let's make this TM to wrap this up. So I can control plus. Even more to zoom in. I'm going to just hold down shift and make this just a really basic T here. Here we go. Let's fill that in with blue. And then let's go ahead and click off that using the selection tool. Then let's do the M. So I'll click using that. Gonna come up and over. Again, by far not the best M I've ever made. But I'm just trying to get this done quick so that you can see the final product. And make this the same M. Alright. Zoom out here. Let's see what we got. Alright, so this is what I made. I can go ahead and take that trace layer, drag it to the trash can, and this is all my own work. So I have the Cubs logo complete. I would want to save this, so File, Save As. Make sure I save it as an Illustrator file, cubs.ai, hit save. Upload this to the Google Classroom. I want to print out a copy of it, so I'll go File, Print. Make sure that when I'm printing, I scale this, fit it to the page, hit print, and then I would want to also take a screenshot of this and put it on the Google Doc that I shared with everyone. To take a screenshot, you just hit the print screen button, which is right next to F12. You drag a box around this, go to copy to clipboard, and then I would just go to my Google Doc and paste it in there. All right, hopefully this tutorial has been helpful on how to recreate the Cubs logo.